So I want to explain some more things to you that I think might be helpful to you. First of all, we talked about a thing called muscle testing. And I'd like to explain to you really what that's all about. Your body is a dynamic system. It's moving through life, going through all kinds of experience, dynamically taking an input, processing, and letting output out. That's what the body's doing constantly and continually. If we can actually look at the postural system or see what the person is doing, see where they have strengths and where they have weaknesses, we can begin to analyze where is the body having breakdowns, where are those weaknesses coming from. Now, we can have that conversation and show people a dropped shoulder, a foot that's turned out, which we did with you all on the very first visit. But what's really nice is that we can have those kind of conversations, but it's much better and stronger when that conversation goes into actually seeing what's going on in a very practical kinesthetic sense. In other words, I look at you, you have a dropped shoulder, somebody else is in the room with us, they can look at the same shoulder and say, oh, we can see it's dropped on the right or dropped on the left. We can see that. That's nice. It's nice when we're standing from us, but when you go back home and you come back and say, I don't care if my shoulder's dropped, I want the symptoms to go away. That's what I want. And I understand that completely. So what we've got here is a system that actually shows us where that symptom's coming from. And I use your body's symmetry or lack of balance. And then later, your weaknesses in your areas to see where the body's taking us and let you actually see what's happening as well. So you can become part of the process, not just outside watching in. To explain that further, again, you came in, you know this. We saw you had a postural change, you call it symmetry. You had a change in your symmetry. You had maybe a dropped shoulder, a head that was turned one way or another, a foot that was turned out, more pressure on one leg or another. You saw that, you felt that. We realized when you took the pressure off that side that seemed to be irritated, you picked up strength because you took pressure off the nerve supply. You remember we did that? Right. So then, as I started working with you, I went through and checked a bunch of muscles. In fact, I checked usually 96 with you. Of those 96 muscles, some were weak. So we identified which ones are weak. Now, you probably didn't know that, especially if you look like you're in good shape and your system looks like it's toned pretty well. So I didn't even realize those muscles are weak, and most of us don't. It doesn't come over one period of time, like you didn't fall off a building and all of a sudden you have all these weaknesses. It came over time. The body had made shifts and changes over time. Emotional things, physical things, chemical things happened in your body, and your body made allowances for those changes. Either it solved the problem or it didn't. And when it didn't, then it started making shifts that we can now begin to see and measure. How I measure that is by checking muscle strength. If all the muscles are strong, we know we don't have a problem here, and usually we don't. If we have a lot of weaknesses, we have some problems. And usually they're accumulated problems. They didn't happen yesterday, they've been coming over time. So when I check all the muscles with you, I want to know which ones are not doing well for two reasons. First of all, I want to see how weak your system is and where the weaknesses are. And beyond that point, I want to see how it registers into your system. What organs are related to those system weaknesses as well. Both those give me a picture. Then what we did with you, we walked in, we started doing some things called clearing. We started picking up some muscle strength. You got up off the table, maybe feel a little bit lighter. Maybe you had a little postural change. And then you went home. Then we came back, we checked what we did the very first visit. Those muscles began to lock in. The first ones we did for the first visit. Then we picked up some more muscles, and we started saying layering. We've gone through some different layers, but layer number 2, we started clearing some more things. Again, you stood up, you might feel some more postural changes, maybe some symptomatic changes as well. You went back home, your body took those changes, began to make its own shifts. We came back in again. With the third layer, we started clearing things from that from the third layer, first, second, third, they're already clear. We had heading toward the fourth layer. As we did that, again, we started seeing structural changes again. We started seeing some of the muscles that we saw were weak before are getting stronger. But something that's unusual, some of the muscles that we saw, geez, they were strong yesterday, but I went back and started checking those muscles again, and they don't seem to be as strong as they were before. That's true, and that happens. Because what's happening, we're going through degrees of. It's like degrees. Like is a person standing straight or they're standing straight? The person walk with a good pace or a fast pace. It's all degrees of. So every time we work with you, we're taking that muscle that was strong before and we push it to a higher level, a higher degree. Every time we do that though, not just that muscle gets strong, other muscles on that meridian flow or other muscles related to that system somewhere along the way, they also have to adapt as well. They've got to support that weakness. What I mean by that is, you walk in and your posture is not quite right. You're standing a little bit forward, shoulders a little bit dropped. We work on you, you stand up, so I'm standing a little bit taller. Not just one or two muscles change, a number of muscles change. They have to accommodate for the new change. Just like when you hurt yourself, the body accommodated for that change, started walking different, carrying yourself different. Now we're undoing that and undoing the muscles that were holding the old position into the new position. As we do that, those muscles all have to adapt, not just the local areas, so like a shoulder, chest, back, legs, all have to adapt to that as well. That's why we're working with all the muscles in your system, not just the area where the symptom is. We want the whole system engaged in this process. Remember, I know you're getting tired of hearing this. Your body is a self-healer. Every time we clear something, the body is incorporated in that energetic field to make other changes with the system. Things you see and many things you don't see. In other words, the body is, if it has the ability to use that energy, it's going to take it where it needs it. Your body is very smart, and it has the wisdom to understand, where is my basic need? Where's my strongest need? And the body will go to that take that energy into that area and correct that area. Again, you can see it this way. The body works on priorities. The highest priority is what it's going to deal with. Again, if you can't breathe and you're hungry, the breath is going to take priority over being hungry. The body said, the highest priority, I better breathe. I don't care what kind of food in my system. I'm not going to live here. Or if you're bleeding, the body's going to stop that bleeding before it's going to take care of a foot that's turned out. Why? It's a higher priority. As we begin to work with you, your body, as it starts prioritizing things, we're going to start seeing things change. Oftentimes, the first things that go away are the symptoms because they're high priority. As we start taking those symptoms back away, the body internally is starting getting stronger. In each visit with you, we're strengthening those other muscles to hold and maintain that function and then take it to the next level. That's what the layering process is all about. So each time we see you, we're going down through those layers, strengthening not just the area that you see, but other areas of the body are incorporated in the same process. It's a healing process. Everybody is engaged in this process as well. So if you begin to understand what I'm talking about and what we're going to here, your body is involved in this healing process. We're working that process through. It takes some time to do this. The body's making those shifts, and however long you've had the problem, it has to undo those shifts. So each visit, those shifts now start changing. That's why posture's changing. That's why systems are beginning to activate again. That's why you're starting to feel better. The body is involved in this process of healing itself. Okay? Think you got that? All right. You're doing great again. We're on our way. It's that process. We're undoing that process. And we're going to keep at that process. The body it has the opportunity to heal itself the way it's designed to. And it's doing its job well. It is not sleeping. It's on our side. All right? You're doing great. Hang in there. Keep that water in the system, that warm shower. Again, begin to look at organic live food again. Again, any kind of movement you choose to do now that you're feeling better, begin those movements because we want circulation and flow. Again, we don't want to do anything that causes pain or anything that's a dysfunctional activity. Just things that allow your body to harmonize. You can move around easily and comfortably. As long as you do that, we increase blood flow and lymphatic flow, and we want that to happen. All right? All right. You're doing great. All right. Until next time, keep at it, knowing your body's still working on things, and so are we, and so are you. I'll see you then.